We are so back. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRTea. I hope your week was swell. I am super excited for this episode, just like I am for all other episodes. I just keep getting more and more excited every week. This week's guest, her name is Terra. Terra has been a OG supporter of the podcast for so long now. She has commented on almost all of my freaking videos. She's been to almost all of my streams. I appreciate the shit out of Terra. Terra shared her coming out story with us. She got vulnerable with us, talked about her parents, all that jazz. Then we talked about the prison system in the US. Terra was a corrections officer at a maximum security prison. Oh my God. Could never be me. That's crazy. So she shed a lot of light on that. We talked about trans people in the prison system a lot. And then at the end, we talked about animation because Terra is very good at animation, has been doing animation for a long time. So you should definitely go check out her channel. It will be in the description below. And make sure you follow me at HRTea Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to my Patreon, join my Discord, buy a sticker. I haven't plugged my stickers in a long time because I kind of forgot about them. But go buy a sticker. They look like this. Oh my God, there's so many wires. Okay, oopsies. Put that down. Go buy a sticker. I would appreciate it. And subscribe to my Patreon if you want to support my podcast. I love doing this. It makes me happy. So if you want me to keep doing it, go subscribe to my fucking Patreon. I would appreciate it. All right, let's go talk to Terra. I love you all so much. Okay, bye. All right, I'm going to start by asking you where you're from.
So I am from the great state of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Yes, very cheesy.
Very cheesy.
So much cheese.
How does Wisconsin treat you as a trans woman?
I mean, I think it's been mentioned in a last episode, but it's kind of like if you're in the cities, it's fine. But then, like, you get out into the countryside and, like, everyone's just, like, eyeing you up, like, excuse me? But, I mean, because, like, I live in a college town, and it's pretty good, I would say.
That's good.
In town.
Good. So are you around people, like, your age a lot? Then?
Yeah, pretty much. More so during the school year. And, like, when all the students leave and go back to their homes, then, like, it kind of feels like just you're alone in an ocean, and then every so often you, like, meet another trans person. You're like, oh my gosh, let's get coffee.
Do you know any other trans people, like, on your campus or anything?
I do. So I'm pretty active in the campus community, and like people know my face. I'm everywhere, and I try to make myself known and try to create that little sense of community that I have here.
Fuck yeah, as you should. How old are you, by the way?
Oh, I'm 23 years old.
I think I assumed you were around that age.
Yeah.
Out of myself that I was right. So you live on campus. Do you find that like people in Wisconsin are more accepting of you who are around your age, or is it like older people that you found give you a problem?
I mean, it's kind of hit or miss with people. I mean, most of the time, younger people, if they don't get it, they just, like, won't say anything, and they'll be like, yeah, cool. Oh, absolutely. But then, like, it's also with some of the older people that are here, a lot of them just don't care, and, like, if you present more one way, like, say you present more masculine, they'll just be like, oh, that's a man. I mean, kind of a not manly enough man, but that's a man.
Right.
And then, like, if you present more femininely, they're like, oh, that's a woman. So they kind of exist in that gender binary construct most of the time.
Right. Are you like very open about being trans? Like, do you tell like anybody you meet, or do you not say it? Keep it more private?
Early on in my transition, yeah, I was a bit more open, but like, now that I've been on hormones for a while, it's definitely more with people I'm comfortable with. Like, if I have an established relationship with them, I'll, like, crack jokes sometimes, like, Or like if I'll like break out a crunk from the Emperor's New Groove impression, and then they're like, "How'd you do that?"
That's a great way to come out, honestly.
Thank you, thank you.
You said you're on hormones. How long have you been on hormones?
So I've been on hormones for almost a year at this point.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It's
Mhm.
and it was weird when I went on hormones. I because like I came out in like 2022 in March of that year, and then I waited a whole year to go on hormones, just
Okay.
because like I also work in a very conservative work space. So I
Hmm.
kind of just wanted to fly under the radar for a little bit, grow my hair out and whatnot, just to play it safe.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what I did too. I was underage though. I was 17, so I was like waiting a year to come
Mhm.
out. But that's the way to do it. I think that's dope. Do you do injections or are you on the pill?
I am on the pill, so I take spironolactone and estradiol, like one of each in the morning, one of each at night.
Okay. So
And
I've never heard of either of those. I feel like every time I ask a trans woman what pill or what version of the pill they're on, I get a different answer every time. Is there like a lot and I'm just stupid or
well, from what I know and what my doctor has told me, like I'm on the lowest you can take right now,
Mm,
and it's also the most cost effective for me because I'm going through college at the moment,
right. Yeah.
and like I know there's other people that like take higher doses of like
Mhm,
spironolactone, higher doses of estradiol or like progesterone,
mhm.
and like I just heard the first and lowest costing thing that popped up. I'm like, that's me, 100%.
No, period. As you should. I love that. How do you get your hormones? Through just primary care or
So I go through Planned Parenthood, which is
okay.
one of the cheapest ways around here to get any kind of care.
Hmm.
And I was really lucky because it was they advertised at my college because I at the time I was like, oh, Planned Parenthood only does like
Hmm.
um, fertility care and whatnot.
Hmm.
And then they're like, oh, we also do gender hormone or like hormone therapy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
Praise
interesting.
Jesus. I like that.
Mm, mm.
um, what did I want to ask you next? Oh, do you ever want to be on injections one day?
I don't know because like it's not that I'm touchy about needles because like I donated plasma for like a whole year just to get some extra cash. So needles aren't the thing for me. It's just the I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Is it like the I want to say like maintenance of it, like having to do it once a week or every other week for the rest of your life, maybe? Because that's
I
what it was for me.
I think that might be it. I just
Yeah.
also think pills are a lot easier because I can have them in a cute little case, and I
Hmm.
could be like Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
No, that's dope. Honestly, if I could take testosterone in pill form, I so would. Are you ever afraid about your liver though with pills? I feel like I'd get a little afraid about my liver.
A smidge. I'm a
Not to
smidge
make you more
afraid for my
scared.
liver. 'Cause
She'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
well, like I know when I first started and they like tested my blood or whatever, they were like, "Your kidneys aren't in the best shape." And at the time, I was like drinking Monster Energy like
Mm,
nonstop, and I'm
that'll
like,
do it.
"Oh, probably should change some of that." And then like I just stopped drinking Monster Energy after that.
Hmm.
I'm like, I want functioning kidneys. Let's not do that. And then next time I went in after because like they do it in 3 month intervals.
Mm,
They're like,
hmm.
"Oh, your kidney function's really good," and I'm like,
The fucking monster.
"It worked."
Honestly, are you even trans if you didn't go through a monster phase? Come on now.
I don't know. I don't know if you are because like I remember one of the first memes I saw when I came out was like that white monster can that's like, oh, this is really tasty, and then at the bottom it's just like trans flag.
No, dead ass. Oh, honestly, off topic, but I miss a good monster or a good Red Bull, but I don't let myself have them anymore because I'm afraid I'm gonna have a heart attack.
It's funny you mentioned Red Bull because I used to drink Red Bull all the time at the prison. And we'll get into
Mm,
that later, but
we
like I'm
will.
just turned off to it. And then I just
Mm.
went from Red Bull to Monster. And now I'm on, I don't, have you had Bubbler before?
No, what's bubbler?
Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Can I go and get a can for an example?
Hell yeah, do it.
Okay, so this is Bubbler. It's fantastic. It's like a
Ooh.
sparkling water full of antioxidants and also gives me the caffeine I need. And it's more
Ooh.
popular in the Midwest, I think, because it's like a Midwestern based drink company, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure. But I
Fun.
love this stuff. They come in so many different flavors. This isn't sponsored by Bubbler, I swear. But if you're in the
Bubbler.
Midwest and you go to a quick trip, get Bubbler. They're like $2.
Now, it is it like flavored water with caffeine?
Pretty much. And like
Fuck yeah.
it's really satisfying. It's a really good drink.
Period. I love that. Did you hurt yourself?
No. Shut
What are you
up.
talking about? I and then we'll get back to it. I used to drink a Monster every day and ride my longboard around my own town here. I
Uh-huh.
thought I was the coolest motherfucker up in this bitch. I was not.
I it's funny you bring up longboarding. I used to longboard all over campus when I actually lived in the dorms on campus. Now I just live in off-campus housing.
Mm.
And I actually broke my twins' longboard that they lent to me, and I hid it from them for like 3 months. I still have not forgiven myself for doing that.
Can I ask how you broke it? It's hard to break a longboard.
Okay, so I'm pretty big. I'm like 6'2" and like packed with muscle. And I was going over a bump, like not a bump, like you know where the sidewalk dips down on the road and you like can like
Mm,
go up onto it.
mhm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna like go with the momentum of the board and like pop up, and it's gonna be super cool. And then as I was going down, the board snapped in the middle, and I'm like,
I've been there. That's okay.
oh, I just
Was
and I
anybody watching?
no, because it was like late at night.
Good. Good.
Thank
Good.
goodness.
Sometimes that's worse though, because then you're alone and you have to like get your shit
Yeah,
together and like pretend nothing happened. You can't even laugh it off because you're alone.
you can't.
All right.
Oh,
What the hell will we talk about?
what was that?
Um, injections. Yeah. So you don't know if you'll ever go on injections. I
No, I'm
think.
not really.
I think they make a gel though. I was told last time I talked about this that estrogen can come in gel form
Hmm.
if you ever want to try gel. I don't know how you'll get it. I don't know where they have it, but maybe look it up.
Hmm.
I just started gel and it is mwah. I am in love with gel. I feel like it leveled out my uh anger issues a lot. I have more patience now. Still a very impatient person, but it's leveled out better. So, yay
Welcome
for
to the
gel.
club.
Now how about surgeries? Have you gotten any? Do you want any in the future?
Not really. No.
Period. I love that.
Like I'm pretty satisfied with where I am, and like I considered like maybe I want to get like a rhinoplasty because like my profile, like my nose specifically, is really bumpy. But then I'm like, wait, I look like a Greek goddess with my nose.
Period. I
Period.
love
Period.
that.
Period.
Fuck
And,
yeah.
and like
Absolutely.
I love making this joke with my roommate all the time. She's
Mhm.
awesome, by the way. Love her. But like we'll be walking down the street, and I'm like, man, it's hard carrying peak masculinity around like this. It's tough. It's tough.
It's real hard. What's that like?
Ugh. But like, yeah.
I think that's really cool that you're content with where you are in your transition so far, and you feel like you don't really need any surgeries. I feel like I mean, I had top surgery, but after top surgery, I don't think I really want any more surgeries either. I
Uh-huh.
mean, don't get me wrong, I have my bad days
Oh
for
yeah,
sure, for
definitely.
sure.
I have my bad days.
Yeah,
Like, I'll
but
wake up and then I'll look in the mirror and just see my stubble, and I'm just like,
trying to fight your own stubble.
honestly, just like, put them up. You don't stand
Oh,
a
that's funny.
chance.
So wait, when did you come out as trans again?
Oh my gosh. So I came out officially to my girlfriend in like 2022, and we like had like a 2 hour long conversation, because it was a whole, like, that conversation was the whole thing about how I used to talk in my YouTube videos. We'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
um it was like really plastic and fake, and she's like, I feel like you keep talking to me in the way you talk in your YouTube videos. And then like that escalated to, oh my god, I'm pretty sure I'm trans. And then like there's also like inklings in the past where like it's kind of suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh, it was sophomore year 2021, I think, where like I was just shopping around, very pre-transition, and then I saw like bras on sale or bras on clearance at Walmart. And like, even though bras aren't inherently a feminine thing, at the time I'm like, bras equals women.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, what if I bought it like as a joke, as like a laugh, as like a ha? And then I was chilling in my dorm like 2 days later, bored, and I'm like, what if I put that on? And then I did, and then I was like, gender euphoria. And then I threw that shit into the back. Oh, sorry, can I swear? I don't.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I threw that shit into the back of the of the dresser drawer, and I'm like, that was not a joke. That shit was not a joke.
That was not a joke.
That was not a joke. And it's funny. I think this is the bra, actually.
That's so fucking funny. It always starts out as a joke.
It does.
And
It
then you
so
like
does.
half scare yourself because it's never actually a joke.
It never is.
Oh, that's funny as hell. I like how you were like, "Can I shove that shit into my fucking drawer?" Because it was not a joke.
No.
Oh, that's funny. So you came out to your girlfriend first,
Uh-huh.
and did you have the realization like in front of her, or did you go to her and say, "I'm trans"?
Kind of in front of her. Like, we
Okay.
kind of she kind of helped walk me there. To that point.
Did she take it well?
Oh yeah, she's like, I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
I still love you, but then she's like, hey, I think we should see other people, which, like, totally valid. She was like graduating, or not graduating, she was transferring schools at the time. And I had so many things to figure out for myself at that point, so I'm like, this is probably for the best. And that talk that I mentioned earlier, I did that in April of this year, and she actually showed up for that. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You've come so far. And I'm like, likewise, you look fantastic, babe. But yeah, she was the first one that I came out to.
See, even though you guys like aren't together anymore, and like maybe she chose to go a separate way once you came out, like you'll still always remember that as like a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about the trans community, that like she had a preference or she made a choice and maybe it hurt you in the moment, but like you're not mad about it because she treated you with kindness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's how it should be, you know? I don't know. I love
Exactly.
that. And you'll always look back at that when you like the first time you ever came out or talked to somebody else about being trans, you'll look at it as like a positive story rather than a horrible one, which most trans people freaking suffer from because people don't know how to act. And
Yes.
I just
Speaking
think
of
that's great.
horrible coming out stories, I have a plethora of those. Because, like, my girlfriend, stunning, beautiful, fantastic.
Period.
I remember, because like I waited a little bit to come out to my family, because like so for context, I come from a really big family from a rural area in
Mhm.
Wisconsin. And when I say rural, I don't mean like a town of like 1,000 people. I mean like a town of 100 people.
Mm.
And like you
Mm.
drive through town, it takes you like 5 minutes to drive through town, like that kind of small. Big
Mhm.
family, the only like male kid born in the family too. So like all of those like societal pressures of like the man in the family were like
Mm.
shoved down on me. And we also lived on a farm. So yeehaw. Uh
I'm getting the picture in my head for sure. I see it.
and like I love my family.
Mhm.
Deeply, deeply love my family.
Mhm.
And when I did like so it kind of came out in bits. So I came out to my twin who was also going to college at that time in the same town. And didn't go great, not because of anything they did, but because of something I did. Because I was so new to the community, I didn't know what I was doing. They were like, "Yeah, I'm non-binary." Fun fact. And I don't know how out they are or anything. But at the time I was like, "I don't know if I'll ever be able to see you that way." Obviously not now.
Mhm. Right.
Not great of me to say at all. But I think it's important to get that out there. And
For sure.
then like because I was also living with my twin at the time, during my talk, and
Mm.
they they pointed that out to me, and I'm like,
Mhm.
of course I see you that way.
Mm.
But it was also like they also went through my stuff because I had a whole copy of the script. I was gone at work. They went into my room to return something. They saw the physical copy, looked through it, sent a picture of every single page of the script to my parents or to my dad. Then my dad's like, you know what? You're getting cut off of the phone plan,
Oh.
and we're gonna have a talk. And I'm like,
Oh.
huh? How is he getting so detailed with these quotations from the talk? Because the whole point of the talk was to like not follow a script,
Mm.
and like I was expanding on topics in the script and whatever.
Mhm.
I know I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth, but
No, you're good.
when I first came out to my twin, it wasn't great, and
Mm.
I made mistakes.
So, did your twin come out to you first as non-binary, and then later you came out as a trans woman, or reversed,
So it
or
was me
instead?
that came out first because
Got it.
I like went to their apartment and I'm like, hey, I gotta tell you something. I'm a trans woman.
Mm.
And then they're like, yeah, I'm non-binary.
Mm.
And but then like that's all we ever talked about it was that
Mm.
night. And like I get it. You come out to somebody who you think will understand
Mhm.
and they don't understand. And I can understand shoving that deep down.
Mhm. I mean, look, I would be lying if I said that I always was supportive of non-binary people. I didn't get it at one point too. All that matters is that you grow and you learn, and you obviously did. I mean, hello.
Mhm.
Um, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it is what it is. I think you you grew and you learned from it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if have you talked since then or no.
Well, no, not really. Because, like, that was kind of a big breach of trust going into my personal things and then
Mm.
sending said personal things to someone who's not supportive of me
Right. So
so much.
the script that you're talking about, it did
Hmm.
it have to do with you being trans? Like, was it
Yes.
okay?
Yes, it did.
They sent that to your parents.
That's the best conclusion I was able to form. And,
Mm.
like, I could follow the logic steps to be like, okay, my dad has insane quotations of this script. I don't know how he got it. And then when I
Mm.
got back to my apartment, because this all happened like at my like after work,
Mm.
when and then like I went into my apartment, my twin like chewed me out, and then was like, oh, like they were like, oh, you said this, and this, and then I'm like, I did not say those things. And then they're like, oh, I have receipts. Scroll down
Mm.
their phone, and I'm like, oh, well, that's how.
Hey, I get it. Family is messy. Family is messy as hell. Where are you with your parents right now?
Oh, that's another thing. My so I came out to my parents in like May of 22, and I remember the first words out of my dad's mouth were bullshit,
Mm.
and obviously not great to hear from your dad, who
Mhm.
arguably you use as like your moral compass for the
Mhm.
longest time. And you're like, this guy knows the right way, yada yada yada. And then like as I like started growing up and whatever, I'm like, that's kind of not how I vibe exactly.
Mhm.
And then just to hear him be like that and be just dismissive of everything,
Mhm.
I started to distance myself. It didn't happen immediately, it just happened steadily over time.
Mhm. I
And
mean, as you should.
it's disappointing because like my dad is like kind of like the figurehead of the family, and if dad doesn't like something that you're doing, then everybody else doesn't like what you're doing.
Mm.
And it's it's not great. It's not fantastic. It's not fantastic in the slightest.
I hear you.
And like
My
obviously,
dad scoffed at me. You got
oh,
bullshit. I got
you got oh,
yeah. So
I'm
I
so
get it.
sorry.
It's okay. We're here now.
We're here. We're here. We're here.
How about your mom?
My mom. I remember when my mom when because like I came out to all of them, or not all of them, like it was my dad, my mom, and then like a couple of my sisters in the living room
Mhm.
at the time. I'm like, so since everyone's in here, I've got some news. Probably not great, like not great timing, but like I wanted to get it out because like mom was
Mhm.
heading to work,
Mm.
and well, like I remember she's like, thank you for telling us, and then that's all she said, and then she went to work. And out of that was probably the second best reaction I got from any of my family members.
Did it keep getting better from there with your mom? Do you still talk to her?
Not really. It just kind of stayed stagnant
Mm.
like that because my mom loves to be busy. She's a busy bee,
Mhm.
and she's like always working, even to her own detriment. And it's a blessing and a curse for her, I think. And I get a lot of my work ethic from my mom, but also from my dad, and a little sprinkle of my own little zest in
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
And, but like, yeah, it's just been stagnant. Nothing's really changed at
Mhm.
all, which is kind of the theme with
Mhm.
with myself in regards to my family.
Mm. Had Do you talk to them like at all, like recently, or no? Are you no contact?
Not, not really. I kind of just ceased a lot of communication with my family
Yeah.
after I moved out of the place that I shared with my twin.
Mm. That's hard. I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, I couldn't have done it without the well, okay. I've formed a really strong friend group here,
Mhm.
and I've leaned on them a lot over the last couple of years. Like I think one of the first big things I did was not go to Thanksgiving last year. And my friends, who are awesome by the way, love them, invited me to their Thanksgiving and are like, oh my gosh, come with us. We're gonna have such a good time. And I did. And it was
Period.
fantastic, and I love them. They're the best.
I love that. Chosen family.
Chosen family.
Mhm.
For real, for real.
100%. Oh, real for real.
For
100%.
real, for real.
Now, it's insanely hard to have to distance yourself from the people that made you and the people who you were around when you were growing up. It's insanely hard to do, but I'm proud of you for doing it because, like, phew, It's not something everybody can do, but at the end of the day, you should be proud because you chose yourself, and you are the only person you need at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah. I mean, blood doesn't mean anything if it doesn't come with love and respect. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't. Ooh, fun fact. I don't know if you know this, but like, the phrase "blood is thicker than water."
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that's not the whole phrase?
No, I did not. What is it?
So the whole phrase is actually the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Huh?
Yeah,
What?
fun fact.
I don't understand that. Blood of the
So
womb?
like the water of the womb, like obviously like blood family, but like blood of the
Uh-huh.
covenant is like the chosen family.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
We got it.
Took
We
a
got it.
second.
We're good.
I like that though. 100%. 100%. I like that. Chosen family is everything. I feel like not going to Thanksgiving is always the first big move for like no contact with family. I think there was somebody else or a couple people, a couple past guests who did the same thing. And every time I'm like, fuck yes, you tell them. Because why on a day where you're supposed to be thankful for the people around you, why would you go to people that treat you like shit? Fuck that.
Pretty much. Just
Mhm.
and like, it's not even like you're asking a whole lot, really. It's like, hey, I go by this, this, this. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if you mess up. Just like try your best and forget the rest. But
Mm.
then there's like that's like, oh, but that's a lot of work for me, or scoffing, and it's like I'm not
Oh,
asking you to haul a boulder up a mountain, Jeffrey.
dead ass. Dead ass. No, it's dumb as hell. I mean, like, sure, mess up a few times, give it like 3 months or so, but like, that's all it is. Like, it's just remembering. Like, you know
Yeah,
how to remember things. You were taught this in kindergarten. It's not that hard.
it's not that hard.
Not hard. Fuck.
Like even the people at my managers at work who are like two like middle-aged cis dudes were like on top of my name. They're like, "You
Mhm.
got it, Terra," and I'm like, it's kind of alarming how fast you picked that up.
Were you not paying attention to who I was before? Did you even care about me? All right, so let's talk about how you were a corrections officer at a maximum security prison. You said a maximum security prison?
Yes. So I was a corrections officer at a maximum security institution, but like that's like the preferred name
Mm.
for supermax prisons because they're like supermax is bad branding, and I'm
Mm.
like, hey, I don't want to dead name you, but okay.
Mm. Wait, so how when did you do this and how long did you do it for? Because you're
Oh,
23, right?
yes. So right out of high school, 18 years old, still very much a cis guy. I worked at Walmart, but then I was fired because I violated their attendance policy. And
Period, honestly.
and I was like, man, I really need a job. And my dad's like, hey, they're hiring down at the prison. And I'm like, how much are they paying? And he's like, $20 an hour. And I'm like, sign me up. He's like, we'll do it together. But then my dad got a better job offer at his job
Mhm.
that he's working at now. And he's like, good luck, Vaquero. And I'm like, ah. And what? So, like, there's a whole, like, training that's
Mhm.
involved with going through that at the time, because it was like 2019.
Mhm.
And, like, you had to go through 7 weeks of training in Madison, Wisconsin, where, like, the center for the Department of Corrections is. And, like, most of it is kind of like college stuff, but you get paid to go there. and like you're in a gigantic classroom with over 100 people, and like that's what most of it is. But then you also had to be trained in like handcuff administration, takedown tactics, pepper spray administration, administering hand. I already said that. But then we also had to scope in guns, and like we had to know how to shoot like AK-47s and shotguns, and we also had to get pepper sprayed and tased.
You did one of
So
those?
I won't do that ever again. Because okay, I'd rather be tased than pepper sprayed, because like tasing, it's
Yeah.
like bzz, and you're done. And I had to
Mhm.
be tased with like one of those hand tasers, and then like with a
Mhm.
taser shield where they like put it
Mhm.
up to your back and they're like taser, 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 and
Mm.
then you get shot. But like with the pepper spray, what they did, because like we did all this at the firing range that day,
Mhm.
they like had to stand all in a line, and then they ran along the line spraying the pepper spray in our eyes, and we had to keep our eyes open. And the first type of pepper spray we were sprayed with was like the regular run of the mill pepper spray, where like you can't
Mhm.
see for like 10 minutes, but if you just blink, you'll get it out of your eyes. And you have to like dab your face with a paper towel. But then the other type of pepper spray we got sprayed with was, I believe it was called ghost pepper spray.
Mm.
I could not see for a solid 45 minutes. It was
Mhm.
awful.
I've seen those videos on TikTok of officers having to go through that. I'm like, I would rather die.
No, don't do it. Don't
I
do
would
it.
rather detransition. Fuck that.
So same.
Fuck
It's
that.
awful. But
Yeah.
Cody, do you want to know the worst part
I do.
about that whole situation for me?
What?
So I got some trapped in my hair, and when I took a shower that night, I got re-exposed.
Ooh.
And like I'm feeling around the shower,
Oh,
because
you're
like
alone
can't
too.
see. And like luckily my roommate, who was, because like they rented out a whole hotel for us while we
Mm.
were in Madison, which like stellar. But he like helped me out and whatever.
That's
But
so
that's just the
scary.
training.
That's fucking crazy.
It's
Wait,
arduous.
why do you have to know how to oh, I guess if somebody takes your pepper spray and pepper sprays you, is that why? But who's pepper spraying you?
Well, like
Like,
the way they explained it to us is like, so you know what you're administering on an inmate.
oh, well,
And I'm
fuck
like,
that.
okay,
That's
all right,
stupid.
valid.
I don't wanna know.
You're not
No,
wrong.
I don't wanna know that.
Yeah, no, ugh.
Wait, so how long were you a corrections officer for?
I was a corrections officer for 3 months,
Okay.
and I didn't stay for long
Mhm.
because for multiple reasons. One of which being like you're working with some of the most dangerous criminals
Mhm.
in the country, because it's a supermax prison.
Mhm.
And B, like they also had us working obscene hours. Like I'd be working like 3 16-hour shifts a
Right.
week. And then I wouldn't know if I was working a 16-hour shift until like half an hour before the end of my shift, and someone's like, "Hey, so and so called in. You need to work another 8 hours on the alpha unit." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll just call home and tell them I won't be home until 6 a.m.
Okay, fuck me, I guess.
Fuck me."
Damn, that's awful.
And like the death threats I would get, and I was one of
From
the more liked corrections officers, because um like I was nicknamed Superman at the time by the inmates, but still I'd be getting like death threats from inmates, like I'm gonna kill you.
oh
And like one
god.
time I got threatened, my life got threatened because I didn't lean an inmate's mail up against his door like he asked, even though I did.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And so,
Girl.
but you'll love this next part. The reason I quit, after 3 months of working there, and I was living with my parents at the time, and I had built up like a lot of money, so like I was fine. But
Mhm.
I go in one day, everything's right with the world. Birds are chirping, sun is shining. I walk in through like the first 3 layers of security, and I'm like, "How's everybody doing today?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, an inmate was attacked. Or no. An officer was attacked by an inmate and had to be taken to the hospital. And it was on the unit that you're going to go and work on. Like, it happened like half an hour ago. And I'm like, oh, give me more details. And so I get more details. I find out high security inmate being taken out by 2 different officers. And what ends up happening is that, because like he's like behind him, whatever, the inmate has a shiv, like, like classical shiv thing, about like that long, shoved, and this is going to get a bit graphic here, folks, shoved like underneath his skin, inside of his wrist. Yeah. Manages to wiggle that shit out, lunge back at one of the officers. Now, the officer saw this, jumped back. And even though he jumped back, he still got the officer, like, right there.
Wait. Hold up. The inmate had it in his skin, like hiding it in his skin on his wrist?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Tendons and everything.
Determination.
Honestly, yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. And he got him in the neck?
Got him in the neck right there and there. If he didn't jump back, he would have gotten like that main artery and it just croaked. And you want to know the best part? The best part is that there was still caution tape over the cell. There was still blood on the floor. And I saw that and I'm like,
damn.
Peace. I am out. No, thank you.
This is a woman's prison, right?
No,
not a woman's prison.
This is a man's prison.
Wait, you worked in a man's prison?
I worked in a man's prison.
Why did I think you worked in a woman's prison? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I have questions then.
Yes.
Because one of my questions, I thought it was a woman's prison, but one of my questions was it like, that was stupid as hell.
I know, I'm like...
Was it anything like Orange is the New Black, but with men, I guess?
So, don't hate me. I've never seen Orange is the New Black. I'm sorry!
Girl, if
I apologize.
Honestly, from the stories you've told, though, it sounds like Orange is the New Black. It sounds chaotic and scary.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen clips from Orange is the New Black, and, like, I did a smidgen of research, and, like, I guess Orange is the New Black takes place in, like, a women's minimum security prison. But,
yeah,
like...
it is minimum and sometimes maximum, but yeah.
But, like, I know a lot of times in, like, TV shows, prisons depicted, like, with those bars and, like, in Orange is the New Black, how it was like in my prison is, like, there were no bars on the doors at all. Huh? It was solid, just steel, and they were powered by hydraulics. And every time you opened a door, it sounded like a Star Trek door. Just best part about working there. Hands down.
You did that really well.
Just... Thank you.
Wow. Okay, wait. So, like, if you, like, walk down the hallway, would they, like, scream at you and shit?
Would they, like, some of them would. They just are, like, if they're in a bad mood, they're like, fuck you! Or, like...
Fuck you too, bitch!
Fuck you too! Some of them were fun-ish. I mean, at the time, one of them, like, called me his grandson, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. You think what you want to, Hank. You think what you want to.
Okay, wait, so let's talk about the prison system as a whole then. And still the prison you worked at. Did you see any trans people at all in that prison?
So there was one trans woman that was in the prison. She was in one of the, because like how they section off prisons is like, these are the super, super bad people. And then these are the super bad people, but they're also well-behaved. She was in the well-behaved section of the prison. And like, I had zero understanding of what it meant to be trans at the time. Because like, small town farm girl, you don't know you don't know anything.
Right.
And I mean, of course I never looked up what these prisoners did to get into prison because I do
Mm-hmm.
not need that on my psyche.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
But I mean, she was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I talked to her more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wish I had more to report.
How was do you remember how she was treated? Because I mean, she was a trans woman in a men's prison, right?
I know she was dead named all the time,
Mm.
and that like everyone just used the wrong pronouns and just like treated her like absolute shit all the time,
Mm.
and like used like the T slur and whatever, which not great.
So I guess I don't even know the laws or like in America for trans people in prisons. Is it state by state? Like,
I
do you
I'm
know?
also not familiar. I know the only thing I know because I've been listening to a podcast recently called what's it called? Pick Me Up I'm Scared with Madeline something something. She's really good podcast. Highly recommend it. But they were talking about the prison system in one of the episodes, and like this has nothing to pertain to the current conversation, but like U.S. has the highest incarceration rate out of any
Mm.
country in the world,
Mm.
and as far as trans people are concerned, it's like what your biological sex is. That's what prison you go into. Which, huh?
Huh?
Pardon?
Is that across? Let's look it up. Fuck it. Wow. Yeah. Most prisons in the US currently house transgender people by the sex assigned at birth according to genital characteristics. I wonder what states let you go to the prison like with your gender identity that you prefer. But it says most. Fuck
I
that.
mean, it
I
could
thought it
be
was a little
different
better.
with private prisons as well, because like there's
That's true.
state-run prisons and then there's private prisons
Mm.
that like do things differently. And like I know there's a lot more private prisons in the South
Mm.
and a lot more federal prisons in the North. So maybe something with private prisons. I have no idea.
Was the transgender woman that you saw in that prison, was she like, do you have any recollection if like she maybe looked like she was on hormones or anything?
Not really.
Because I'm wondering if she was allowed.
I don't know. It's kind. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. And
No, yeah,
also,
for
like
sure.
my memory's a bit shaky because that was like 5 years ago.
Mm. I'm wondering if in at least in Wisconsin, if trans people are allowed to have hormones in prison.
Hmm. That's a good question. I wish.
I
I
don't.
wish I'd done more research. Ah.
No, please. Hey, I don't know anything about anything. I wonder. Here, let's fuck it. Let's ask Google. Most state corrections departments explicitly say access to hormone therapy will be provided to transgender inmates if proved medically necessary, but some legal cases indicate that facilities act differently in practice. Damn. California became the first state to pay for transgender incarcerated prisons gender affirming surgery. That's not what I fucking asked, you stupid. I hate Google sometimes. It looks like I thought the US was a little bit better with putting trans people in. I mean, I know that there's been a lot of cases where it's been bad, like a lot of cases for trans people in prisons, but I thought that there were more states that had trans people in prison where they aligned with their gender identity.
Yeah. I mean, your
I
first
guess
mistake
not.
was thinking that the U.S. could be better at anything.
You're so right, Curly. You're so right. That's on me, honestly. That's my
Tisk
bad.
tisk.
I think I talked about this once. It was about a trans woman. I forgot her name now. She's famous, somewhat famous, whatever. And I don't know what she did. She assaulted an officer or some shit. She didn't really do anything that bad. I think she was in the right at the end of the day. But
Mhm.
there was a clip of me somewhere talking about how she didn't deserve to be put into a men's cell overnight because she's a trans woman. And all of the comments were just, but she was a fucking criminal. Why do you feel bad for a criminal?
Oh my
Like, you
god.
once you're a criminal, you give up all your rights. So like, it's not her right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That pissed me off.
It's also like criminals are people.
Mm-hmm.
Fun
Mm-hmm.
fact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people know that.
Mm-hmm. And look, like, I'm not here like saying that, like, I don't know, murderers and whatever like deserve anything good in this world, but who am I to play God, first of all? Second of all,
Mhm.
just because you're a murderer doesn't mean I'm gonna call you a dude when you're not one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when if
You
you're a trans woman, I mean, like, well, that's beneath me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah, I
have
know
the
what you mean.
energy to misgender somebody. Like,
Like you can
why?
still hold people accountable while still treating them like human beings. And
Mm-hmm.
as it stands right now, the prison system in the United States doesn't do any of that. And actually, a lot of prison systems do use prisoners as very, very cheap labor, paying them like dollars and
Mm-hmm.
pennies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even like your federal prisons, like, there's prisons that have factories where prisoners go and make road signs for pennies on the hour. And
Mm.
it's like, that's just that's just slavery with more steps.
Yup, that's exactly what I was about to say. Like, you're not even exaggerating. Like, they get paid not even 5 cents an hour. Like that's crazy. And like, again, I'm not saying that like criminals or murderers or whatever deserve whatever the fuck. I'm again not playing God because whatever.
Yeah,
But like, also, if you want somebody to be better, in my opinion, that's not how you treat them.
yeah.
You know.
Also, like, if we're seeing all these people doing all these crimes, why are we not addressing the root of the crimes? And
Hmm.
why is it reactionary and not just attacking the root of the problem?
Yep. The prison system in the U.S. is absolutely garbage. It's fucked.
It's
I
not great.
the the thing about like how, once you're a criminal, you lose all your rights. But like, I that bothers me because like, speaking about trans people, classifying, like, using the correct pronouns for me isn't like, classifying that as a right is like, yes, it should be a right, but like, it's also just like being morally like a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like it's not that big of an ask. Again, we're not asking
even
you to
for a
push a
criminal.
boulder up a mountain, Jeff.
Jeff. And if you want to be bitter too, misgendering somebody is like not, it's not like the final blow. You know what I mean? Like, because trans
Yeah,
people also don't give a fuck. Like, we don't care
yeah,
that we've been through much worse. You misgendering me, is it going to hurt that bad? Find something
right.
better. Like,
No,
find something else to come at me for.
that's so funny because like you bring that up, and I was misgendered at work like a couple of months ago, and it was by like some cis dude, and he like walked up behind me. He's like, "Excuse me, ma'am, could you tell me where the headlights for our trucks are?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, aisle 275." He's like, "Okay, thank you, sir." And I like looked at him for like a second, and then I walk the other direction, and as I'm walking away, I just hear "ha," and I'm like,
Mm,
"Congratulations, King. I
that's
hope you
fucked
feel
up.
better."
No, that's entirely fucked up because that obviously he did it on purpose. He
Mm-hmm.
saw that at least like, you most likely do not identify as a cisgendered man, and he noticed it and decided to be an asshole anyways. It wasn't just like by accident. It wasn't just him not looking or thinking or whatever. Like, no, he just is scum of the fucking earth. Should have barked at him.
Pronouns.
No, fuck that. I'm sorry that happened.
I mean, like you said, it's we've been through much worse,
Mm-hmm. Right.
but still doesn't. It's like flicking you in the forehead. Like, what the heck?
Well, that was fucking rude, but all right.
Rude.
That ass. Um, my last little topic of the day that I wanted to talk to you about is your YouTube channel.
Haha.
You do animation, right?
I do animation, and I started doing animation like about the time I started doing my prison guard training.
Mm.
Because I don't know if you are familiar with like the YouTube storytime animators, like
A
Jaden
little bit.
Animations, Odd Ones Out. That's kind of like where I drew a lot of my inspiration, and then it
Mhm.
just kind of grew from there. Um, and I've been doing it on and off for the past however long. And what sucks is that a lot of my good stuff that I've made is a lot of stuff pre-transition, and I haven't gotten like my claws into creation,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, I want to share my stuff, but a lot of it's like not stuff I want to be seen.
Yeah,
And it sucks because it takes so long to animate. Oh,
I bet.
my channel's called Plot Twist, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Totally forgot to say that.
I I checked it out before we started recording. You are very talented. You do some great animation. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you so much.
And you're funny as
And
hell too.
oh, see, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm flattered. I'm flattered. Um, Fun fact: I do all of it on my phone.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dedication. I love that.
Well, I mean, I recently upgraded to, by recently, like I got like a $300 drawing tablet like 2 years ago, and I just decided to replug it in at the beginning of this year. And I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, this actually works, because at the time it didn't work with my phone because the animation app that I use wasn't
Mhm.
really compatible with it, but now it's like updated or whatever. So
Mhm.
now I use that, but like I used to like have a cheap stylus, animate it all on my phone, and like transfer it to a laptop to upload the audio, transfer the audio.
Whole
It's a whole
process.
thing.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's really cool though. Now, is animation kind of like what you want to do with your life moving forward, or you want to keep it as like a hobby?
So I would have loved to like do it full time, but like as I said, animation takes a lot of work and a
Yeah.
lot of time pouring into it, and it's just me making these.
Mhm.
And I haven't exactly gained enough traction to be able to do it on my own. But like I'm also going to school for in pursuit of my broadfield social studies education major.
Period.
So I know a lot about history, and
Oh yeah.
history is also one of my passions,
Fuck yeah.
and that's
That's
kind of
cool.
the full-time thing at the moment. So yeah, animation part-time, but if I am able to get it off the ground and do some more like educational content,
Mm.
kind of mix and mash live action with animation a little bit, I feel like that would be something I would totally love to do.
Mm. Yeah,
But
that would be
yeah.
cool. I when we talked about you being on the podcast, you mentioned trans representation in animation.
Uh-huh.
Now, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think there's not enough trans representation in animation today?
Yes, more trans representation in animation. Please, more. And like, okay, I don't just mean like your surface level, like, oh, we have a trans character in the background and you know they're trans because they're wearing a trans flag. No, I
Mhm.
want them included in the main narrative, and I want them to just exist as they are and be a kick-ass character. Like, I
Mhm.
think one of the best representations of like any trans person ever in animation. I don't
Mhm.
know if you're familiar with the show, but it's a show called The Owl House,
No, I've
and
never heard of it.
it's a Disney show actually,
Ooh,
and it
really?
was released like in at the beginning of COVID, and it just wrapped up in 2023. You can watch it on Disney Plus, and there's a non-binary character in there, and they're just vibing, and they're
Fuck
kick
yeah.
ass, and they have a kick ass outfit, and just
Hell yeah.
they're fantastic.
I would absolutely love to see like a animation with like a trans person as the lead and like have the show be about that trans person's like journey and experiences, but
Right.
not like solely focus on like the mainstream shit that you hear about trans people all the time. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
actually like go on adventures with them and shit. Like that would be so cool.
I know. Speaking of that, there is a show that's kind of like that on Netflix. It's
Mm.
called, I think it's called Paranormal Park, where it follows this um trans boy,
Mm-hmm.
and like animation's beautiful, and like he kind of like runs a like Dolly Parton themed amusement park
Hmm.
that's like haunted and shit. But
I feel
like it
like I
also
heard of that.
follows his journey coming out to his family,
Oh,
and like he's the center of the story.
oh that's
So what
cool.
you just described, I like, yeah, highly recommend you watch it
I
because
think somebody else told me to watch that too. That sounds familiar. I'll have to give that a
mm,
listen. Have you ever incorporated any transness in any of your animation?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I know like when I was still like closeted a little bit and I wasn't like I didn't have the full courage to come out on my channel, I like did a little video like top 10 tips about like supporting your like queer loved one or whatever.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And like I dropped little hints that I was trans in there. And then like I think someone connected the dots in the comments of that video. I'm pretty sure I made that video private though.
Mm.
But like some of my newer stuff, like there's a Batman animation that's like Batman tries a new transition, and like it kind of hints that like, hey, I'm
Transcoded.
trans,
Yeah. That's
mentions
cool.
transitioning.
Fuck yeah. That's so cool. I love that. I hope you keep up with animation and whatnot. I think it's really cool to see. And you're very good at it.
Thank you.
You're
I did it
welcome.
all by myself,
Hey,
and
it's a lot of work.
um, no, there's actually I am releasing something in August that is like the season premiere, season two of. I don't know if you checked it out or not, but there's what the longest running series on the channel. It's called The Fabulous Misadventures of LaRock,
Mm-hmm.
and
I watched that.
season two is where shit goes down.
I'm excited. That's cool. I
Like I don't know how much of it you've seen, but like what you've seen is just like an iota of what I have planned for this.
That's so cool. I love like the creativity side of it. You know what I mean? Like, do you just how do you come up with the ideas for it? Do you just like sit yourself down and just like think about it, or just like come to you?
It's kind of a combination of like me sitting down and thinking, and then just like quick fire, like how about a dinosaur that drops oak stairs on people
That's
and
so
talks
cool.
like Emperor Palpatine? So, I mean, I've kind of just always done that with like my little cartoons. I remember I would like always draw like cows on
I
my
saw that.
math tests, but like they're doing various different jobs. Like there's a cow cowboy, a cow knight, cow construction worker. I drew a lot of cows. There's a lot of cows where I was from. Um, um, but
That's
it
awesome.
was always cows and dragons, and I'm like, I can do something with this.
We're gonna do something with that.
I can do something with this.
That's awesome. Fuck yeah. I love to see it. Definitely whoever is listening, please go check out Terra's channel. It'll be on the screen and in the description below. Where else can people follow you, by the way?
So people can follow me on Instagram as Plot Twist or Instagram as T Clark 3493422.
A lot of
And then
numbers in
also
there.
on YouTube and TikTok, I have a Plot Twist TikTok. That's the
Period.
same. That should be the same as the Instagram.
Nice. Those will all be in the description below. Please go give Tara a follow. Also, trans song of the week. What'd you pick?
Oh my gosh! I think I actually had two. So so my first one that I have is "Happy News for Sadness" by Car Seat Headrest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the feels. I like.
I listened to it before we started. Mwah, masterpiece. I loved
Oh,
it.
it's so
It
so
got
much
me in my
feels.
feels for sure. I love that. Very transcoded.
Right? That's what I
Mm-hmm.
thought. And then the other one, I actually. So, one of my very good friends, Saren, his brother actually made the second song.
Oh, no way.
Been in the House Too Long by Dissociated Drace has gotten me through the toughest times. And I just turn that shit on and I feel like I'm floating in like a still pond.
I love that.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I keep wanting to make a playlist out of all of the songs that any guest has ever given me in every podcast episode, but I keep forgetting. But
That's
maybe in
okay.
the comments below, people could tell me if they actually want that or not. If that would be cool, if you would actually listen to it, then I will 100% do it. And obviously, these two songs will be on there. And thank you for sharing those. I love when people share their music with me. It's like my favorite thing. And yes, make sure you follow Terra at all of her on. I can't fucking speak today, and it's driving me
You
crazy.
got it. I
Purdue.
believe in your abilities.
Thank you, Queen. Make sure you go follow Terra on all of her social media platforms. It will be in the description below and on screen. Make sure you follow me at HRT Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. I post all the time. Join my Discord. Terra's in the Discord along with so many other beautiful trans people just hanging out and talking, shooting the shit. Come join it. It is always, always, always in the description below. Subscribe to my Patreon. You guys know the fucking shtick by now. I have content coming out of all of the holes of my body. So if you are not subscribed, you're missing out. And yeah, that's about it for this week, Tara. Thank you so much for being on. I'm so glad we
Thank
finally
you.
got to talk. You have been an OG watcher of the podcast, and you comment on all of my shit all the time. You're in my streams all the time. I appreciate you so fucking much. You have no idea. And I'm so glad we finally got to sit down and talk. This was awesome.
I appreciate you, Cody. Then, like, I remember when I found your podcast, it was like on a TikTok, and
That's so
I'm
cool.
like, who is this guy? Who is
Who this motherfucker?
who is this? Who? And then I turned on the podcast one day while I was doing dishes, and
Oh.
I'm like,
I like what this guy's saying.
I like
Or this guy's
I
a
like
fucking
this guy's
idiot.
Oh.
No, I love that. I appreciate that. I forget that people are like out there perceiving me. It's just so weird. I'll never get used to it. But I appreciate you.
Of course, I appreciate you, and also the note that you wrote me when I got the stickers is back there.
Oh, period. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah, no, I kept that shit close, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't plugged the stickers in so long.
You
I
can plug
forgot.
the stickers in. You can use me.
Fuck yeah, look at that sticker. That's
Look at
where
that
those stickers
sticker,
belong.
folks.
Hell yeah. Go get a sticker. Those are always, always, always in the description below. Please go buy a fucking sticker. If you want to support my podcast, I would really appreciate it.
Yes.
And subscribe to the Patreon to also support my podcast. I would really appreciate that too. All right. Terra, thank you so much. This was an awesome freaking episode. And I will see you guys next week. Bye. You're dancing. I love it.